Thanks, Pat. Well, firstly, I need to apologise for not being with you tonight. It just wasn't possible at the moment. I also want to thank those people who chose to induct me into the Media Hall of Fame at Suncorp Stadium. It's certainly a great honour. I'm thankful and I'm proud for a kid who dreamed of being a sports commentator all his life from a little New South Wales country town down south called Junee, the son of a railway fettler and a mother who gave birth to 7 kids and cleaned the Commonwealth Bank in her spare time. This is an utterly overwhelming occasion for me, believe me. On a lighter note, it's not very often a southerner who comes here with nothing goes home with a gold medal. It's almost surreal, you know, when I think back, the first night that I worked for Channel 9, it's over 30 years ago, I was walking with the crew to be with them for them to show me where the broadcasting box was, and going through the gate, the gatekeeper called a halt to me and said, ID. And I said, I'm terribly sorry, but I've left it back at the hotel. And he said, no ID, no entry. And I said, oh mate, please, I'm on the commentary team. He said, are you Daryl Eastlake? I said, yes, I am. Yes, I am. He said, love your work. Have a good night. Things have changed enormously since I came here to call my first match. It was a test match, and I was going to commentate in tandem with Fonda Matassa, 5 minutes on, 5 minutes off. He showed me to the box. It was a temporary broadcasting box on the Caxton Street end on the hill behind the uprights. Calling rugby league end on end is not an easy task. In fact, it's a nightmare. Incidentally, Fonda's watch must have been going slow that day because the 5x5 didn't quite work. Not in my favour anyway. Fonda was going about 9 and I only had time for scrums, penalties and progress scores. The next change of commentary position took us to the eastern side of Lang Park, and that of course presented another problem. The sun setting in the west in your eyes didn't help. Finally, they built Suncorp Stadium as it stands today, and it's become my favourite commentary box, apart from a couple of blokes that occasionally would put their head in front of the window and give me a complete bollocking. Over the 55 years of my broadcasting life, mainly in rugby league, although I was involved in swimming for a couple of decades and I called 3 Melbourne Cups as well, but I've enjoyed many great moments, and I think 2 of them came from Origin. I like to call them the Kingdom and the Dynasty, and I think you know what I'm referring to. Back in the mid-70s, we had a midweek competition called the Amco Cup. It became the Tooth Cup, the KB Cup, the National Panasonic Cup. There were several Queensland sides involved, and one of them was called Combined Brisbane. Keith Barnes used to say in commentary, why is this kid in number 14 always on the bench? He's very talented and he could be really going somewhere in the game. Keith Barnes, who passed away just recently, was talking about Wally Lewis. Wally did graduate from the bench. He went on to preside over Origin for 10 years, and he won 8 man of the matches in that period of time. He even got sin-binned on one occasion, which didn't please the crowd, and they littered the ground with half-empty 4X cans. Play resumed about 10 minutes later, but the clock for the sin bin for Wally, it was only restarted then. Wally was so revered not just by the fans, but by the superstars he played alongside. People like Mal, Gino, Choppy, Rowdy, Alfie, and Fatty. I better mention him, otherwise he'll get the shits completely. This was Wally's kingdom. Fast forward to 2006, and we come to another era that I really remembered and enjoyed and was honoured to call. It was called the Dynasty, and of course it brought together 8 consecutive wins for the Maroons. Players like Lockyer, Smith, Thurston, Cronk, Inglis and Slater. There was an abundance of talent, and it was no surprise really to think that they held the trophy for 8 long years. At the helm of that 8-year reign was Mal Meninga. He actually embraced both eras, if memory serves me correctly, but it's an 8-year record of consecutive victories that I don't think will ever be equal. This is all part of the rugby league history that Suncorp and Lang Park has been involved in down through the years. I often say to people, if you're putting together a bucket list, don't forget to write down Suncorp Stadium, Origin, preferably a decider. People ask me for my personal thoughts. Who was the best? I've already told you, I think Wally Lewis. What was the best try you ever saw? The answer would be the miracle try, but it didn't happen here. What did happen here was the Slater try in 2004, where Lockyer kicks ahead, Billy gathers it in, kicks himself, regathers and puts it over the line for a try. History says it was a try. The scoreboard said it's a try. But many people dissecting the try think that Billy was in front of Darren. Just to be around this game has been a highlight for me. 55 years enjoying yourself. It wasn't like I was going to work. It was almost a hobby or a pastime for me. It was always fun, apart from having to fly. I have a fear of flying, and that's why I drove to Brisbane so many times during my career. I will share one thing with you. Right through my career, particularly at Origin level, I tried my darndest to be impartial. I trust I succeeded. I hope you have a great night tonight, and again, I want to thank everyone who made this possible for me. Good night and God bless.